All right, let's just dive into it, shall we? So this deck is playing one of my favorite previous champions, which is Lux. Her artwork is stunning, like most of the artwork in this game. So she is a 4/5 for 6 with a barrier. So the turn you play her, she can't take damage. This falls off after a turn, but helps her kind of survive combat the turn you play her. She levels when she's seen you cast 6 plus total mana worth of spells and creates a Final Spark in your hand when doing so. Final Spark is a free spell that's fleeting, so you have to use it the turn you generate it. It deals 4 damage to an enemy, and it has Overwhelm, so any excess damage that would be dealt carries over to the opponent's dexes. Leveled Lux continues generating Final Sparks when she sees you play 6 plus mana worth of spells. Has a little bit extra attack and defense. We are pairing Lux here today with Leona here, new champion from the Targon faction. So Daybreak, which means if she's the first card you play in a turn, she stuns the strongest enemy. She levels up when you've Daybroken 4 plus times. Notably, Leona does not have to see you trigger Daybreak, so she levels very quickly a lot of the time because you'll be playing Daybreak cards the first few turns before her with really good curves. This card can level on turn 4 when you play her. Her leveled mode stuns something every time anything triggers Daybreak, including herself, which is wonderful. The rest of the deck has the various quality Daybreak cards like Soltari Soldier and Shield Bearer that get buffs the turn they come into play. Soltari Priestess, I actually think Priestess is a very powerful card in general. This uses the new Invoke mechanic from Runeterra. I really love Invoke as a mechanic. I really feel like this is a good example of good digital variants. So Invoke lets you pick one of 3 cards from a special pool of Celestial cards. This one specifically lets you pick from 4, 5, or 6 cost Celestial cards. If you're new to Runeterra, the Celestial cards tend to be fairly powerful. So here, you're shown 3 of the Traveler, Written in Stars, Meteor Shower, Warrior, Falling Comet, or the Golden Sister. So you'll get 3 of these, and you can kind of pick the one that fits whatever the board state is that you're looking on it. So I really like that Invoke gives you a variety of play patterns in the cards that it generates, but they always come from this defined pool, so there aren't really feel bads because you know the approximate level of what cards your opponent's getting with their generation. So let's go ahead and pop on into one other card to highlight. Star Shaping is another incredibly powerful card from the new set. It's a 5 mana burst spell, which means it almost triggers Lux on its own. It heals a Nexus or your ally 5, so a decent anti-aggro card, and it invokes a Celestial card that costs 7 or more. So looking at those Celestial cards again, the range on things that cost 7 or more are a bunch of really powerful, mostly finisher type cards that can close the game out for you. So Star Shaping heals you to kind of blunt the early aggression, and then also gives you a late game bomb most of the time. Yeah, there might be a typo in my tweet that I posted half-assed dirty digits. Congrats. I don't actually know. Where are we at? We're looking for Lux Leona. I have a lot of Lux decks, chat. I play a lot of Lux. Spectacular failure that we are... Yeah, there should be an R in there. That we are years, sure. I actually read R in there in my head the first time I looked at it, so the resource system in Runeterra, I mean, knowing doesn't do anything, dirty digits. You can't edit a tweet, so like pointing it out doesn't actually contribute anything. So the resource system in Runeterra is similar to Hearthstone in that you get a mana every turn. However, it's different from Hearthstone in that your mana can carry over through the turns. So Remembrance here costs 6 mana. If I don't use my mana on turns 1 and 2, I can actually play this 6 mana spell on turn 3. this stored spell mana can only be used for spells, so you cannot save mana up and play more powerful units with it, but we can play a card like Remembrance, which is actually one of the reasons why Remembrance is so good, is because this is a spell that generates a unit, so you can get a powerful unit early with it. So you can see here my opponent used their mana on the first 2 turns, so they don't have any stored. Love the spell mana mechanic. Really helps games not be so... It makes it so it's hard to lose the early game when you fall behind in terms of tempo, which is great. This is a 5/5 with tough, so every time this takes damage, it takes 1 less damage. Damage stays on units across turns in this game is an important thing to know. If my opponent doesn't start their turn by attacking, I'll probably play Leona out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play her. She stuns the strongest enemy, which is this one. And you can see her triggering her own Daybreak counts towards her level up, which is nice. So these young witches have the support mechanic, which means the thing next to them gets a bonus. So the order in which you sort your attackers in this game tends to really matter. So see, these are also elusive. That's the wispy smoke on them, so they can only be blocked by their elusives. So they're hooking this here. Okay. I can't block these because they're elusive. So I'm up to 5 mana this turn. I think I'm going to start the turn by attacking here, because this way if they trade... I guess I don't. This is a 2/4, so that could just block this, which isn't great for me. If something dies, Radiant Guardian gains lifesteal and tough, which is good, but they'll probably hook her in combat next turn, right? I'm gonna go ahead and Soltari Soldier. No, she's not leveled yet, so she wouldn't stun that. Maybe just start the turn by attacking. Let's start the turn by attacking. So, units can attack the turn you play them in this game. However, the upside to starting the turn by attacking is that starting the turn by attacking means that your opponent doesn't get a chance to play blockers out before you do anything. Yeah, it might be right to just Healing Touch or Guiding Touch to pump this. They just played Screeching Dragon out though, so it's gonna die regardless. So that's not stellar. I think I'm going to play Soltari Soldier out here just to get it into play and trigger her Daybreak. And then I think I'm going to pass the turn. We'll burn 1 mana, but we'll get to bank the other 3. Yeah, I think there's more sequencing decisions in the average game of Runeterra than there are in just like multiple matches of Magic on average. And in large part, those sequencing decisions happen because you have so many cards in your hand, because you're basically drawing twice as many cards as you would compared to a game of Magic. So they have Screeching Dragon here, which has Challenger and Fury, so it gets bigger when it kills something and it can make one of my things block. I think I'm gonna go ahead and single combat these two. If they have a Riposte here, I get into trouble. Riposte is a combat trick that gives it a barrier. That's unfortunate. So they had a trick. It gave their things tough, which means it now no longer dies to my single combat. Yeah, this card, the Screeching Dragon here, is incredibly good with the Young Witch, because Young Witch gives the thing they're supporting quick attack, so it gets to eat my stuff. Hey, Cardboard Tech, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Protect and strike.
Okay, so I think I want to save my things here. So this can heal an ally or my Nexus. So I think I'm going to Star Shaping to heal this. It has tough, so it won't die to this. These are all like late game finishers. None of them are particularly stellar here. I could Gilding Touch to save Leona. Is that worthwhile? I kind of feel like the answer is no. Going to 3 here if I don't block. I probably want to jump block here too. Go to 7. The eye here tells me how combat's going to work out. Even shows me that my remembrance will cost less. Pretty far behind here at this point. So I get to bank that 2 mana I didn't use. There's another star shaping. I think I Remembrance. This summons a random Demacia ally that costs 5. There's 5 different things this can generate. 2 of the things that can generate have Challenger. So I'm hoping to hit that 40% and get a Challenger so I can start killing their stuff. I am 6 foot tall. Greathorn Companion is not a terrible one either. This has Scout, which means it gets to attack twice, and my opponent's only at 10 here, so 2 attacks from this can force some chump blocking.
Quit your yapping.
I'll stop you.
This is my opponent.
Shield up.
So you get to heal that. This eats this. They take 5.
My duties.
So we're at 9 mana here. Ooh, Hush is really good.
Batter him.
This way. Go.
So Hush silences something, which wipes away all bonuses on it.
Hardly fair. Eat up, friend.
Let's quick attack. So we heal my Nexus for 5. If you behold a Celestial card, obliterate all enemies with 3 power or less. Yep, we'll take that one. So this is going to go back to 3 power, right? So I was going to Hush this to kill it, so that it would lose its quick attack, but I don't need to do that now, right? Because I have Cosmic Rays, and this is a Celestial card to enable it. Fred the Third, thanks for the 26 months. Yeah, so I think I just go to 6 here.
The balance requires a watchful eye.
They could have Deny. You're not wrong. This is my play, though. If they have Deny, we're dead. Okay, they have Riposte, which lets them save that because it gets outside of the power range. That's fine. Oh, I could Hush it. Oh, I forgot about Hush. We're gonna lose this game because of that, aren't we?
Jenny.
That.
Our sun will not set today.
I find them unworthy.
I suppose. Time to get rowdy.
Hold nothing back.
Yeah, we're dead now, right? Yeah, game. A lot of decision points there. First time playing this one. So if I... Did we have another Gain 5? Alright, now you're making me doubt myself. Was there another Gain 5 in there? That's embarrassing. No, I don't think we were dead. If we survived that turn, we're probably fine. Yeah, if you wanna see a variety of decks, I recommend hanging out in the Runeterra stream, not switching to a different Magic stream. Ash Sajani. Keep both of these. I'm mulligan these two, looking for some cheaper cards. Yeah, I royally screwed that game up at a couple of points. As a warm-up. Yeah, we'll shake it off. In the words of the greatest poet of our generation, shake it off.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics. Punish transgressions.
You don't know, I think, like, from a game balance perspective standpoint, I don't know that Wizards of the Coast can make Magic a good game as long as they are beholden to MTG finance. Like, I genuinely don't think they have enough tools available to them as long as their hands are tied in what decisions that they're able to make in terms of balancing their game. Like, the last couple of months, the last year and a half has just been brutal, and I feel like they definitely could have made better decisions, but they just weren't allowed to because of finance things.
A true Freljordian welcome. Follow the horizon. Stay back.
It's not even the reserve list, sir. It has nothing to do with that. They can't make good decisions because they can't ban cards because they cost $60. They can't ban cards because Arena is so expensive. When you ban cards, people can no longer play the game because they only had one deck.
Unite the Freljord. The dawn has arrived.
Get to stun Ash here.
The mountain.
Glorious light rains down.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that Hasbro has to do with it. So this will level her.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
Yeah, but like reserve list cards just aren't even related at all to what I'm talking about here. Like the issues with balancing gameplay in Arena don't have to do with the reserve list.
Daylight is unrelenting, but not eternal.
The fact that Riot just like isn't afraid to balance Runeterra is such a breath of fresh air. They're regular. Like at one point they did an emergency update because they thought 2 weeks was too long to do a balance patch. So it's just like really funny. It's like 2 weeks is too long. Oh. Like not being able to balance cards, keeping them back too. No, I think that's nonsense. I think card games in general are incredibly difficult to design. There's just too many variables. I think it's pretty BS to expect them to be perfect out the door. I think I sold Tari Soldier and then Consecrated Strike here.
Ours is the one true light.
Because this triggers here and stuns Sajani.
Splendor revealed. As the arrow flies.
Arrows at the ready.
So she's gonna Frostbite this.
My aim is true.
Like, I think it's completely unreasonable to expect perfection when designing a digital card game, or when designing any card game, But, like, I don't expect Magic to be perfect.
You fought well.
That doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter that they fail. Failing is human. It's like, expecting perfection is unrealistic. What isn't unrealistic is to expect the issues to be addressed, which doesn't currently happen. And I have to think that finance reasons are the reasons why it doesn't happen. Pretty good Daybreak generation here. Crystal arrows, so they get to frostbite this, sure. And then I get to attack for 9 here. So this doesn't get to attack for the turn, but they're going to get smacked for 9. This is stunned. In my opinion, it's actually a good thing if card games have issues, because if your card game doesn't have issues on occasion, it probably means you're not taking risks. And if you're not taking risks, your gameplay probably isn't going to stay very interesting for very long. Again, don't expect perfection, but do expect that when you inevitably aren't perfect, when you inevitably aren't perfect, you fix it. I'm probably just supposed to take 5 here, huh? Just let this happen.
Everywhere I go, the light follows.
And like I said, at the end of the day, I don't. Part of the reason why I'm playing more Runeterra is not only because it's excellent, but I don't want to just complain endlessly about decisions Wizards has made that I think are bad, right? I'd rather just spend time playing a game where those issues aren't there. Just grab Written Stars here.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
So this triggers her to stun. Oh, I don't have the Always Day card anymore.
Glorious light rains down.
So Daybreak generally only triggers as the first card you play. I don't have the Always Day card still. I guess we could just die to these Decimates, huh? So it's kind of important that I kill them this turn. That can't block. Sure, but at the end of the day, Kylar, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why Wizards doesn't balance their game. As a player, the end result is just that I don't want to play if it's not balanced. Like, it doesn't matter why their horse and buggy can't keep up with the race car. At the end of the day, it's just not keeping up is the issue. And these two strike this. And then I can play another spell here to level her and blast through this. We might kill them this turn. They're only at 3. If we generate a final spark, they die, right?
Well fought.
Because they have an X1 here. If we final spark this, they take 3. Ooh, playing around Brittle Steel is a good reason to use these two. Brittle Steel explicitly only targets things with 3 toughness. Yeah, sweet. So their Pharaon had Decimates that could be lethal, but we were able to punch through beforehand.
Daylight everlasting.
Yeah, there's no highlight like looking at cards on Arena, which is good. This reminds me a little bit of the discussion about Apple versus Google when it comes to data privacy. Google business model incentivizes it to collect your data, whereas Apple does not. Whether each company does it or not is kind of unknown, but you can bank on Apple doing it less. Similarly, Magic makes money on card acquisition while Runeterra is planning to monetize cosmetics, so Runeterra's actions in general disregard effects on ownership/acquisition. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison, Doctor. Diana Tarek, so probably something aggressive. I'm gonna mulligan Bastion. I'm gonna keep my cheap Daybreak threats. I think I'm gonna mulligan the star shaping too. Let's look for Leona. You have the resources to craft one more deck. Which deck was the most fun to play for a player that likes making decisions, in your opinion? We played a, honestly, most Runeterra decks have a ton of choices in them. We played a mid-range Nightfall Invoke deck yesterday. I tagged it as the favorite. I would recommend checking out the YouTube video for that one, and if it looks like something you'd enjoy, I think that would be a decent craft. Does it retrack your win-loss record? Yes, Mobalytics, the Mobalytics website that has my decks hosted on it, has a tracker you can install.
Cannot hold us down.
I'm playing in there's a small Runeterra invitational tournament that's gonna have 32 players in it that I'm gonna be playing in, I think it's 2 weekends from now, and the Nightfall Invoke deck is one of the decks I'm thinking about bringing. The Mobalytics is only for desktop. So the tournament is a 3-deck format where all 3 of your decks can't overlap any factions. So you need to figure out three archetypes with no overlap to bring.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
Clad in shining sunlight.
So we're gonna see here, you know, I've already day broken 3 times. So when we play Leona, she's gonna level herself. Yeah, Runeterra and Arena are both 25, Coral.
The dawn has arrived. To shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
She wants to burn you like the sun, chat.
Behold the sun's holy light.
Yeah, you have to play 6 different regions.
My journey begins here and ends at the top. Not at all, little traveler, but you'll see for yourself.
Can you talk a little about what Expedition is? It's Expedition is draft. Yeah, it's their limited format. Their limited's a little bit different than Magic in that you draft groups of cards to kind of keep your deck synergy focused. There's Runeterra has a lot of good synergies in it. So the way Expedition works, it makes it really difficult for you to draft an unplayable deck, which is sweet. If you want to play with pre-made decks, there is also a pre-made decks option that have cards from the latest set in it. That's is it the lab, I think, is the pre-made decks in it, if you want to try pre-made constructed decks. Okay, so Sojourners is kind of scary. It supports all the way down, granting 2/2, so it'll make this a 3/3, and this will get 2/2 from this and 2/2 from this. This will be a 6. I think I just pass.
Just a little farther. It's our time.
So the support mechanic gives a bonus to the ally immediately to the next to it, and then this is a special support where its support chains all the way down across all the other supports. So I think I block here, and I block here. Yeah, it's also grant means permanently +2/+2. Some bonuses will say till end of turn, and if they say grant, it's permanent. This is permanently a 6/5. And then I had something die here, so I get to drop Radiant Guardian, which is nice. Yeah, I agree. So the support mechanic and them focusing on support cards for aggressive decks really add a ton of sequencing decisions and permutations to the aggro decks in this game. Meteor Shower is incredible here. Get to deal 4 to something and deal 1 to finish this. Nah, I think it's not a big deal if they get to attack there, TDM, because I get to play my Radiant Guardian as a 5/5 with lifesteal. So, I elected not to play Morning Light so that way I can get my Radiant Guardian down after trading in combat. This card is very tough for the aggro decks to race.
Mother Moon veil me. Answer to me.
It was a 2-3 hits. That's quite elusive. There is a visual bug that happens occasionally in this patch where cards go invisible for a second. You can see the outline there because it's elusive. It's still there when you mouse over it. I'm pretty okay with this trade because I have more Leonas in hand.
Fear not death.
You can see here, so this was previously a different card. When you play a champion out, the other copies of those champions in your hand turn into their champion spell as opposed to just being a dead draw, which is nice.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
I think I'm just passing. I'm going to bank a couple spell mana here. I technically burn one, but that's fine. Okay, so they just played a spell to draw a champion, so you're gonna have a Tarek, or a Diana.
Chosen of the moon. We open our
She gets
hearts.
Challenger here. Get to play her out, which triggers Daybreak to stun their 6/5.
Would you have slain me then, knowing what I'd become? The sun's splendor revealed.
So they have a couple of Dusk Petals, and they have a gem in hand. I wonder if they'll gem Diana to get her enough to kill this. Okay.
The moon is our queen. The night
Oh, this levels her because it's Nightfall. Okay, so that's a mistake. So I assume they're gonna attack here. Nothing we can do about it. I could have single combated to kill her in response. Yeah, that's why we started Runeterra, because there's a board full of goblins. Quick attack does not affect single combat. So we'll go ahead and trade these off here, which is nice.
closest enemy.
There's so many cards in hand. I kind of just want to pass here and see what they do. I don't really have anything great to do with my mana. They could just, like, end the turn, because I'm technically burning more mana than them, but I feel like they want to play something here so they can start on attacks next turn. Okay, so Consecrated Strike kills this. Even if they have something to interact with my stuff here, I have a Bastion to keep them alive, which is nice. And then I have a Meteor Shower to kill these two. So we're in a pretty good spot here. So a Meteor Shower, kill these two, and then we can attack.
Stars reveal, Mother Moon.
Deal 4 to you and 1 to you. And you can see I can mouse over here to confirm I picked the right ones, and then hit OK. Yeah, we're playing that card. We've got 3 of the card that's it's always day. We just haven't drawn them. Yeah, we would like the It's Always Day card, or we would like a Lux, but even without either of those, we're still in a pretty good spot here. I think it was, no, we played Leona Yasuo, was the other Leona deck that we played. Lab Rat, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. No, I do not play League of Legends. I'm just gonna pass and take 8, and then we'll Star Shaping, gain 5. Always Day does not mean never night. It's a little counterintuitive, but... Huh. How do we feel about just taking Living Legends here? Because this gives you spell mana too, right? So if we play this, we go up to 13. So this is actually perfect. So I get to do this, which stuns this, which burns its spell shield. Then I get to play this, which fills my mana back up. So this fills my hand with random fleeting celestial cards, so I have to use them this turn and refills my mana. So we'll get to play this, and then we gotta play 13 mana worth of stuff. Kind of unfortunate that we didn't get anything cheap here, huh? I actually can't play 2 cards? Do I just do Supernova? I think I just do Supernova. Uh-oh. Scourge is really good here, huh?
Strike while the planets align.
This is probably better, huh? I guess they could have like a hush, but even if they hush this, it's still really big, right? Oh, I can protect it with Bastion against anything other than hush. It's true. This gives my other allies Choo-Choo an overwhelm when it attacks. That's the punish, right?
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
Spell Shield does protect from hush, yeah. So maybe I'm supposed to grab one of the Spell Shield one? I don't know, it's still a 10-10.
Defiance is our way.
Like this can still block their 8-7 next turn. I'm like, this no longer has a shield on it, so if they play something, I get to now... Oh, wait. If I Morning Light, I stun both, right? Because it Daybreaks and then triggers Daybreaks. But waiting to Morning Light for when I have Soltari Priestess in play is better. All right, I'm just going to do this. So I only really need to stun one of their things. Easy Traveler here for another Invoke. So this will stun this. They don't have Bastion mana up.
Behold the sun's holy light. Keep going.
So these will trade here.
Raise my shield.
I think I'm supposed to trade here because I can play Radiant Guardian.
way.
I think I lead on this.
Daylight is unrelenting, but not eternal.
Opponent's got a lot of cards here. Yeah, the card appearing in my hand for invoke is nice touch. Big agree.
Sunlight burns in our weapons.
So these stun both their things. Nope, it stuns the next thing here too. Only non-stunned things. They're just dead.
Our deeds will be written in the heavens.
How was Magic this morning? Yeah, it's fine. Historic's been a little since they banned Field. Have we even played Lux yet? Yeah, one of the games. We won the first game on the back of Lux. Mulligan Star Shaping, I think.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics.
It's gonna be another game where we just like play Leona leveled on 4. Sweet, Mr. Bunny. It's not even just blue-white control. There's blue man. It's just like endless Uro. Like a lot of the blue-white decks have started all splashing Uro too. Gabriel Nassif's a good Magic player and figured out he should play the good cards.
Unyielding light. Clad in shining sunlight.
Spider-Man meme here. You.
We will not suffer unbelievers.
They will not escape punishment.
It's not even just splashing green for one card, it's splashing a double green card. I think I just pass here. I think burning single combat on this is probably unnecessary. Yeah, not having a bunch of draft chaff littering your account,
Dawn has
tying up the deck editor.
Its light, the Solari will unite the heavens.
glorious light rains down. The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
So, she'll stun their 4-3. They don't have attacks here, so I assume they'll pass. Yep. Huh? Do I just do this and smash? Fam gets big. Stun this.
Burns in our weapons.
Are we actually playing Morning Light in our main deck? We actually don't have Morning Light in our main deck. Oh, huh. This build's only playing one Hush main. That's
They
interesting.
forced us to choose death or the blade.
Punish transgressors.
Believe or burn. You cannot hold us down.
So, they literally can't trigger Daybreak this turn, right? So I should single combat my 5-8 fight this because they can't level her up because I already played something else. That'll probably lock the game up. We had a very aggressive start this game. Do the murder. Are there any faster burst Daybreak cards? I don't believe so. And even if there were, my opponent already played a card for the turn. I've been super underwhelmed by this card. Not only does it need Allegiance, but like it invokes a huge range, so it's not super consistent. Speaking of Bro Thor the First, I think the 5-drop 3/5 tends to be better than Scryer. Has definitely been my experience.
Virtue guides me.
Ah, the trickster.
Yeah, the cost reduction can be relevant. I just feel like I don't quite have enough Targon. I don't quite have enough Targon cards out. There aren't quite enough Targon cards printed yet that you can't really play a mostly Targon deck. And I feel like if you have like 10 plus non-Targon cards, you just miss on Allegiance so often. Well, yeah, I'm gonna play this because there's more attack.
Unyielding light.
So this will stun something and then we'll smash. Can strike through a blocker here potentially too.
Behold the sun's holy light.
The warrior, deliberate and ruthless.
Hoping to fade Bastion here. So the distribution is not uniform in general. If there's not conditions, the invoke favors showing you cheaper cards. I don't know what the exact ratio it favors it at, but one of the devs had posted a comment that you're more likely to get less expensive cards. So these cards like this that have a huge range, you're more likely to get cheap cards with it. Alright, they have 3 blockers to my 6 attackers here. They could have Star Shaping, I suppose. It also favors units over spells. It's good to know. So they chump this here. They're taking 7. They're going to gain 5. So this is taking 9. So if they have a gain 5 here, they can't block like this because they die. So I assume these blocks are going to change and they have a Star Shaping.
Daylight is unrelenting, but
Does
not
Bastion
eternal.
stop both hits from strike? It should, yeah, because it's 1 spell.
This is the wrong path.
It's a good deck to get a feel for the game with again. A lot of these Daybreak decks seem really good, but we just had a set drop, so it's hard to say with too much confidence what's guaranteed to be good or bad. I would, if you're being conservative with your wild cards and don't have a super full collection, I would probably recommend just poking at their labs right now where there's 6 pre-constructed decks or doing your expeditions, while people can get a feel for what's more likely to be good. Probably once we've had like a week or so with the cards, I can say with more confidence what seems more certainty what's good or bad. Okay, you have an 8/5 elusive, sure. How about we stun it?
Bask in her radiant blessing.
That's a good one, chat. It really makes me chuckle that there were people that thought this card wasn't gonna be good. It's so flexible. The Lulu juice box emote is quite good. Big agree. Big agree. Juice box emote is A+. Yeah, Sultari Priest is probably one of the best 3-drops in Runeterra in general right now. It's a 1/2 that draws a card that's going to situationally be what you need a lot of the time, and it's probably a little bit higher power level on average than a card you can put in your deck. Emote power rankings. Lulu's up there now. Lulu, Face Shoulders, Ezreal Sweating. Oh, the Diana Sweating one's pretty good. I've been putting that one in my rotation over Ezreal occasionally. Alright, Trundle Aesol. So probably something a little bit more ramp or mid-rangey. I probably want to mulligan my cards that aren't aggressive. So definitely keeping Sultari Soldier. The question is, do I want to keep Daylight Spear here, or do I want to mulligan for 2 and 3 drops? I think I want to mulligan for 2 and 3s. Perfect. Is Kibler playing Runeterra? I've not seen him.
One star's whoopsie is another spark.
Ours is the one true light.
Clad in shining sunlight.
Kibler was playing a bit on target release day. Sweet. It's good to hear. Hopefully they do some outreach with him. He's a good ambassador to have to your game, if he enjoys it. Good personality, good at card games, good content producer. I'm fine with this trade here. Nailed it.
And here's where I paint my constellation.
I think I've turned into a filthy ramp player. It's okay to be a ramp player in this game.
They will not escape.
We're gonna play some Asol ramp at the end of the stream today. Urkadar, thanks for 37 months. Welcome back.
The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across.
Behold the divine power of the sun.
The power level of this card's at a spot they're happy with. Seems real strong. Leveling her on 4 super consistently.
Light's radiance. Feel the sun's glory.
Oh, you're interesting. Hold still. Oh. Spilled.
Yeah, a lot of the champions in this set level pretty aggressively, right? Like Diane, Nocturne, and Lulu all level pretty quickly as well. So, I don't really have anything to do with my resources this turn. I think I'm just guiding touching here and seeing what we get. We've got heals, chat. Thanks some spell mana here.
Answer to me.
Easy open on attacks. I assume they'll trade for my 3/2. I'll take 6. They are at 7 mana now, so like we're heading towards Asol range. They're 2 turns. In 2 of their turns, we can see that. They could play Trundle and level him here. That's rough. Bastion does not protect from this. Right? Because this is Daybroken. It does? Oh, it does. Okay. Oh, this beats Barrier. It stops everything on it. Okay, so that card beats Barrier because it silences off the Barrier. That's what I was confusing it with. Gosh, maybe I'm supposed to play this for just like no value here. Mana. I know it does silence death triggers. Yeah, I knew that. It might be right to save that, but I just like have so much mana I'm not using right now. This dragon is very, very good. I hereby dub thee Dubstep Dragon. I'm gonna pass. I assume they're gonna attack me. They could just burn my mana here. Yeah, they're burning my mana. That's smart.
Unyielding light.
Leona does still at least stun things, so we've got that going for us.
Sunlight blinds.
Opponent's gonna be at Orient Soul range next turn. And like they're still at 12, so this might be our first loss.
I came to fight!
Alright, this elusive might be good enough. See if we get Orient Sold here or not. That's a decent one. If they don't have Orient Soul, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if they open on attacks. This, paired with Consecrated Strike, could get this dragon off her back. If they open on attacks, I probably want to chump block the 8/8. Oh yeah, it's definitely too early. Pick a unit in your hand to reveal. Heal your Nexus by its power. If you're enlightened, reduce its cost to 0. This is about to be an A-Soul, isn't it? Yep. Very scary dragon shit. Very scary dragon.
Hello, Runeterra. Warriors of the Raharak, our time is now.
We'll follow you to the edge of daybreak.
Alright, so this pulls the spell shield off of this at least. And then I have Consecrated Strike to kill the Infinite Mind Splinter.
Splendor revealed.
No, they're at the level up. This card's super easy to level up because it's half of its own level requirement. When Asol comes down, it's game ending time. There's a chance we kill this 8/8 and they still level it up because they have like 6 mana here. They have another 5 power thing in hand.
You small or me big?
So I played my burst spell here as what's called a soft pass. So now if they don't attack, we can end the turn. But if they do attack, yeah, I wanted them to attack. I didn't want to just pass back to them and then have them, I didn't want to pass back to them and then have them pass to me.
Daylight is unrelenting, but not
Okay, so this is great for us. We need them to... If I block like this, I lose to Brittle Steel. A lot of these builds have not fit in Brittle Steel in them. Oh, I guess I can let damage happen, right? And this will be at 8 toughness, and then I can Consecrated Strike here. I don't know that we're winning this game, but we're not dead yet. Step 1, we're not dead yet.
A sacred guardian fueled by holy light. Bask in the light's radiance.
Sun Guardian's a little bit shy this morning. It's afternoon. What time of day it is?
Face.
Me go face.
No mercy for heretics.
Think I just go to 5 here? Hey, Erictron. Thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So the stun is gonna burn the spell shield off of this. None of these seem particularly useful. I guess Golden Sister could be okay to boost my life total up. Oh, she gives me an elusive blocker. Yeah, that's a good call.
Guide you, my brethren. Behold the sun's holy light.
So I lost my 2/2 this turn, so I can play Radiant Guardian out as a lifesteal unit. It's the part where they play a second Asol and just dumpster us. Alright, 23 cards, so good chance they have another one in my hand by now. Yeah, Golden Sister is a 4/3 with lifesteal that also creates a 4/3 with elusive. So get 2 for the price of 1. Big Wormcoil Engine vibes. It's elusive. Lacarp. If we put the amount of months I've subbed twice in a row, we get the worst year ever. Thanks for the 20 months, Scissor. Welcome back. It's been quite the year for the history books. Yeah, the spell shield kind of covers the elusive animation. Just gotta kind of know. The icons at the top can be helpful in knowing. So anyways, I started stunning. Wow, that's a good one. Oh, I don't have another Zenith Blade in my deck to fetch. I wonder if this deck should be playing Zenith Blade. I think this card's super reasonable. Like, if I had another Zenith Blade here, we would get to stun our way through this most likely, right?
A shield for allies, a sword for enemies.
Are you sure you put Lux in the deck? Yeah, right? Okay. We know one of these cards is a 7+ cost Celestial, right?
The sun's splendor revealed.
I'm not scared, you're scared. You don't know what you're talking about. Ooh, it generated seven choices. So I need to spell shield this so that way I don't die to this 10 ball next turn. So I didn't play my elusives out. So I need to be able to life gain above 10 so they can't open attacks with this and kill me. So we're at 9 and then star shaping puts us to 14. So remember, these cards they generated are fleeting, so they're gonna lose 5 of these cards. So I assume we're gonna see open attacks here, and then I'll do this. Again, this is elusive, so I cannot block. Welcome to the party, Lux! Welcome to the party, Lux!
The sun is shining. We should too.
Oh no! I think we needed to fade Asol for one more turn, chat. I think we needed to fade him for one more turn.
I do love an audience.
I've been hiding my light too long.
La 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 la. So this only silences a follower, right? So I have to stun? I have to stun first? We stun and then supernova? Yeah, these are followers. Oh no! I didn't... The way that works, I don't get a final spark. Oh, that's really good to know. I assumed I would get a final spark, and then... No, yeah, so I don't have a final spark. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, I get one, but I needed more than one. Because our hand is full. Yeah, the hand gets filled to 10. So anyways, I started blasting. We're still not dead here. I get to final spark this. I get to play the serpent. I get to equinox to silence this. Yeah, this game's just been incredible. Hey, thanks for the tip, Coke. Get yourself a goofy cosmetic or something, or some pizza for the fam. Have a great day. Thanks, Coke. Yeah, I'm gonna silence after we attack. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I've been the big dumb a few times today, but yes, we will silence after we attack.
No more holding back!
We have an ice quake? Avalanche? Sure. Okay, so I think I messed up here. I think the fact that they set up the 4 damage on my Lux means that maybe I should have final sparked something else, assuming that something like an avalanche was gonna happen.
Devotion through battle.
Whoa, did we get a Mogwai host? We did. Thank you, Mogwai, for the incredible host. Hope you had a great stream. I was watching you this morning before I went live. I think we do this. So this is stunned. This will force them to... This will trade here. This will trade here. They'll take 5 down to 5. I'll go to 10. We'll use the Equinox to silence this so we're not dead on board next turn. I think is the play. Maybe I'm not supposed to offer this trade. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream card games and other things full-time here on Twitch. I generally stream a lot of Magic the Gathering, but I've been moving over to streaming more and more Runeterra, because this is easily my favorite card game right now. Yeah, this is fleeting, but I have 1 mana left. So they can force me... They can force me to chump block next turn. Hey, Crazy Duck, thank you for the very generous tier 2. I appreciate the 20 months. Welcome back. So they can force a chump. Oh, this is only... That takes the extra power off of it. Oh, no. All right, so back to being forced to chump. Double 4-1's a little rough. If we lose this game, it'll be the first game we've lost in the last hour and a half. Could go either way. They've got a bunch of tools. We've got a bunch of tools. We've fought through 2 Orion Sols, including a leveled Orion Sol. It's been a really good back and forth. Wow, them not opening on attacks here is incredibly good for us, right? So now I have the question, do I play Golden Sister or do I play Lux, assuming that Soltari Priestess is going to get me something next turn to use her beam with? That's close. I feel like there's probably cards they could have that kill us if I don't Golden Sister here. I think I'm just supposed to do this, because they're only at 3 as well. So, like, this has elusive, and this is elusive, so we could just kill them next turn. So I feel like I should take the play that means I'm most likely to live, since I have double elusive for next turn. How many? I wish I could go back and check. I don't remember how many, what's it called, they've played. How many of their heal 5s? I think I want Meteor Shower here, because I think there's a chance that this goes down to 1 toughness. I'm gonna get a spell mana this turn as well, so I'll have 11 total mana with the spell mana next turn, so taking Meteor Shower means I can Lux plus Meteor Shower and use all my mana next turn. Well, someone commenting Runeterra jumping. So Runeterra does have some new set hype and like the big like 20k viewer boost that some of the people have been getting. Those are definitely a little bit botted. Little bit botted. Which is okay. Everybody does that. Magic certainly does that too.
Back, unbeliever!
Back, heretic.
Huh? So, do we stick to the Lux Meteor Shower plan? Probably. The downside to the Lux Meteor Shower plan is, like, if they peel their 3rd A-Soul or, like, a Trundle, we probably die, right? Is there merit to just YOLOing the Immortal Flame? Well, I won't generate a Final Spark, so this is only a 5-mana spell. So I'm not at Final Spark. I think we're supposed to YOLO the fire here. I'm actually not dead on board. Oh, yeah. Well, they could Frostbite it here too, right? I wonder how much room they have for Frostbite in their Behold deck. Because this is the first time this dies, it does come back fully healed. It's a good thing to note here too. Yeah, I think we're supposed to... We're supposed to do this and see if the game's just over. I don't think we've gotten hushed yet this game. Which we could get hushed here and then trade the 5-1. Yeah. Yeah. So, now if they have another unit, we just get got. Although I guess this comes back, right? No, it's silent, so none of it happens. Yeah, okay, so now if they have a 2-power unit, we die. This was the risk, right? It was really bad against Hush. Looks like we're dead. Were we dead to that regardless? We weren't, right? I could have Meteor Showered those two. Yeah, it was a hell of a game. Man. Yeah, if I would have gone... Any play I made would have led to a loss there. I don't think so. So, like, if I... Is there an update? There must be a patch. If I would have Lux plus Meteor Showered, my Lux would have been at 5, and then they could have played the Dragon out to stun my Lux, but I was at 11. So the Dragon plus their 1 wouldn't have been enough, and then I drew another Lux, so that second Lux would have been a barrier, which would have given us a lethal Final Spark with their X1 in place still. Yes, Runeterra just, at the end of the game, patched itself without exiting the client. It's very, very good software. All right, well, I was gonna make that the last one with that deck before we change. I'm gonna do one more now. We got a bunch of people coming over from Mogwai. Yeah, the turn I played my first Final Spark when they avalanched us, I could have also made a better play that turn too. Alright, we're gonna get a rematch of sorts. Trundle, Acel again, so I probably want to be aggressive. It's super unfortunate that we're attacking on evens. I think I mulligan these two, keep Priestess and Remembrance here. Well, I mean, it makes sense that Runeterra is better than... Like, League of Legends is more comparable to Magic Online, right? Like, Magic Online just has, like, decades of technical debt to make up for. Pretty sure we just Remembrance here. Our best Remembrance hit is probably the Fury Challenger Dragon or the Scout. We're almost certainly the aggressor in this matchup, I think, so the Scout would let us apply a lot of pressure, which would be good for us. We don't have a fast Leona start, which is probably ideal, so it might be a little hard for us. Okay, I think that's the second best hit. So this is the new one. There's now 5 things that you can get. This not only has Challenger, but also has the new Fury mechanic, so it gets bigger when it kills something. Chat, tips for Expedition. Be conscious of your curve while you're drafting. Expedition basically forces most of your picks to be fairly synergistic, so you want to be conscious of the fact if you have things at most spots on your, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your curve. I think I just take Warrior here, again with the goal being beating them down.
Unlike guided, my brethren.
I think we're just playing another Remembrance here. Maybe I'm just playing the Celestial, actually. There's merit to playing the Remembrance post-Lux, so we can start generating Final Sparks. It's probably the better sequencing. It could also be right to just drop Daylight Spear and just start getting Daybreak triggers going for Leona.
Blessed daylight surrounds you.
If they attack, I'm gonna block. I guess it's not true. They could have the Troll card to give it plus toughness or minus attack. Or an Elixir. Would be very detrimental for us. Now, with this in play, I think I open on Leona.
Chosen of the sun.
Her light rules the heavens.
So Leona is quite stunning here, so we get to knock that out.
Splendor revealed.
We'll see what else they're able to put into play. Hopefully, whatever unit they play out here can get eaten by single combat or my Challenger. Get to keep applying pressure. Do you have general tips for playing mid-range? Be conscious of the matchups you're playing and how important it is to mulligan for your aggressive starts. You can just do this now. So, like, in a matchup like this, we didn't hit the mulligans we were looking for, but for example, we did mulligan looking for things to be more aggressive to start. Alright, so a real question here is, do I want to trade these? I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I think I think that's a bug that it kept spell shield. Feels like a bug. Should probably stun this, huh? Was that some good RNG, chat?
Behold the divine power of the sun.
Lux for the blocker. Yeah, maybe. Oh! Oh, it doesn't trigger the stun because she didn't level. The one that levels doesn't trigger her. That's good to know.
Back, heretic. Believe or burn.
Let's block with the one that's going to be stunned by this. So if I bank 3 mana, I have 11 total next turn, which does not give me enough to Lux plus Remembrance, or Lux plus a 6 mana spell. So I think I just Remembrance and get this in while the getting is good. Now, if I Daybreak, she'll stun something. Yeah, so I can play Soltari Priestess here, which gets me another Falling Comet, God bless.
Guide you, my brethren.
So we stun that. And if they play another OK blocker out here, I could Warrior to Challenger it. Now, unfortunately, that does not count as something dying because it was obliterated. So this would not be tough in lifesteal, so I'm just going to play Challenger out.
As long as I draw breath, witness glory.
Wonder if we'll see them open on attacks next turn to avoid getting stunned. I think that's pretty likely. I think if they open on attacks, I throw away a Priestess. I think my plan is like throw away Priestess, play Lux, bank spell mana, level Lux next turn.
Your favorite star.
Okay, so that changes the game plan, right? Because now if I chump block these Fury, if I chump block either of these, they Fury and level, and I can't not block, so we need to obliterate the 9/8. I have 2 star shapings. I think I'm just taking 10 here. Oh, I have 3 star shapings. This was a great draw because this wipes Spell Shield off of Orient Sol here. And then I have 12 mana left over, so I can Lux plus Obliterate Orion. Which is pretty great. We'll see what else they have to play out here. This isn't leveled yet, but... Alright, so fingers crossed for no Bastion.
Everywhere I go, the light follows.
Fingers crossed for no Bastion, chat. They played a Bastion earlier. And they may or may not play 3. It's a pretty good card. Some of these decks play 3 of them. Someone asked if star shaping kills Teemo. We're gonna find out next. We're gonna play Teemo Diana in the game after this one. Are they dead? Pretty close to it. The Acel ramp deck doesn't run Bastion. Well, they literally played Bastion against us earlier today. Oh, that's really sweet. Spacey Sketcher with the Hush duplicate that you can't play anyways. I like that a lot. That's really slick.
Stand and fight.
So they'll get to block here, and then they take 8, 9?
Hold still.
That's good. Good slick synergy there.
My paint.
One I hadn't seen utilized yet. Alright, feels... Yeah, the last... We lost to this deck in the game before this one. It felt really close. This one's been a lot less close. I like that Oriensol is like this really sweet bomb, but it's not just unbeatable.
Come on in.
Pushing my limits.
Nice. Alright, sick.
Daylight everlasting.
So, final thoughts on this one before we change gears to Teemo Diana. You know, I honestly don't know that I would change anything. I kind of liked most of what this was doing. If I had to pick out cards that maybe felt a little bit weak, Guiding Touch was maybe a little bit on the weak side. I felt a little bit flooded on heal, ally, or nexus effects in some of the matchups. Yeah, Sun Sword could maybe be okay, but I don't really know. Like, we have Radiant Guardian, so I'm not sure if we really need that. I guess it's good. Sun Sword's not the life gain one. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that it's slow is awkward. Speaking of Hush, I kind of feel like I want more Hush. So maybe I'd swap this for another Hush so we don't gum up. Like, there were a couple of games where we, like, just had a bunch of Guiding Touches and Star Shapings, and nothing needed to be healed. So I kind of wouldn't hate going up a Hush because it's a generically good card and going down on that. Blade is probably a card worth testing just because this is a single card that can level Lux all on its own because it finds you more Zenith Blades. The fact that you can give Radiant Guardian Overwhelm is also nice. Like, maybe you don't need Consecrated Strike in this deck. Like, this was okay in some spots, but not always phenomenal. A couple of people talking about the Daybreak removal spell as well. I could see that. That's probably worth testing. Maybe some number of Sunburst over Consecrated Strike could be good. That's true. Strike was key in surviving against Celestials. So it could be wrong to cut these, especially with Radiant Guardian and Daylight. One thing that Leona does really well is her stuns cut through their spell shields so that you can kill their dragons with removal like this. So yeah, the core of this felt super reasonable though. Like, the games where we had Lux early and got her leveled, she's very powerful like she's known to be, but the big thing that stood out in my mind in this deck was the fact that in the games where we didn't have Lux, our deck was still very functional. Like the Soltari Soldier Shield Bearer Leona beatdown plan is like super real. Alright, so I'm going to hit a quick ad roll for a couple of minutes while I tweet out the next deck list that we're doing. Get this one up that we just finished uploading to YouTube. Don't go anywhere though, because we've got plenty more Runeterra coming up next. Where is this in here? I thought I imported it. Teemo, what is it? Teemo Diana? There it is. There it is, the bot. Put Teemo's name first. So when we get back, we are going to try a Nightfall Shell with a Teemo Clump Wump secondary with PNZ. So back in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.